Hello friends, let's see 8th standard syllabus. In this standard, we are giving all subjects like English grammar, English book, Hindi composite, Hindi entire, Sanskrit composite, Sanskrit entire, mathematics, science, virtual lab, history, civics and geography. Let's see first subject English grammar. In English grammar, study is given. In that, all topics are given which are required for 8th standard. For example, we see topic noun. In noun, you first see introduction. Here only introduction is not given, as well as we text, images, video and animations.
Noun. A noun is a word used as the name of a person, place or a thing. For example, the rose smells sweet. The sun shines bright. Noun itself has been divided into 4 kinds of nouns. 1. Common noun. A common noun is a name given in common to person, thing of the same class or kind. Common means shared by all. For example, boy, girl, town, country, etc. 1. The boy is very studious. 2. The girl is reading the book. 3. The town is far away from the place. 4. India and Pakistan are neighboring countries. 2. Proper noun. A proper noun is the name of a particular person or a thing. Proper means one's own name or thing, etc. And they are always written with a capital letter at the beginning. For example, Sita, Hari, Calcutta, etc. 1. Kalidas is called the Shakespeare of India. He was the luck man of his age. Calcutta is a very crowded place. Ramayana is an eternal epic of India. 3. Collective noun. A collective noun is the name of a number of persons or things taken together and spoken of as one whole. For example, crowd, team, flock, herd, etc. 1. An army of soldiers. 2. A fleet of ships. 3. A crowd of people. 4. A herd of cattle. 4. Abstract noun. An abstract noun is usually the name of a quality, action or state considered apart from the object to which it belongs. For example, quality: kindness, honesty, wisdom. Action: laughter, judgment, hatred. State: childhood, youth, slavery, death. The names of the arts and science, grammar, music, etc. are also abstract nouns. The sentences given below are some examples to show in details about various forms of nouns. 1. The crowd was very big. Explanation. Here the underlined word crowd indicates the form of collective noun. 2. We all love honesty. Explanation. The underlined word honesty is the quality of person which shows the form of abstract noun. 3. Solomon was a famous king. Explanation. The name Solomon shows the particular thing in the sentence, that is the proper noun. 4. Raghuveer is the leader of our cricket team. Explanation. The name of a boy which is the example for the common noun. Some more examples show. 1. Wisdom is better than strength. 2. He gave me a bunch of grapes. 3. Nelson is famous for his victory. 4. The class is studying grammar. 5. What is your verdict, gentlemen of the jury? Nouns, singular and plural. A noun that denotes one person or thing, etc. is called as singular noun. For example, a boy, a crow, a bird, a tree, a book, etc. A noun that denotes more than one person or thing, etc. is called as plural noun. For example, boys, cows, birds, trees, books, pens, etc. Nouns, plural forms. The plural of nouns ending in s, sh, ch or x form the plural by adding es. For example, class, classes, brush, brushes, bunch, bunches, tax, taxes, etc. The plural of nouns ending in o also form the plural by adding es. For example, mango, mangoes, buffalo, buffaloes, hero, heroes, echo, echoes. A few nouns ending in o are those which are written in the form. For example, dynamo, dynamos, photo, photos, stereo, stereos, piano, pianos, etc. A few nouns ending in y preceded by a consonant form their plural by changing y into I and adding es. For example, baby, babies, lady, ladies, pony, ponies, story, stories, etc. Several nouns ending in f or fe form their plural by changing f or fe into v and adding es. For example, chief, chiefs, roof, roofs, dwarf, dwarfs, hoof, hoofs, etc. Calf, calves, loaf, loaves. A few nouns form their plural by changing the inside vowel. For example, man, men, woman, women, foot, feet, tooth, teeth, goose, geese, mouse, mice, etc. A few nouns changed by adding en to the words. For example, ox, oxen, child, children. A few nouns are there which remain the same as in both cases, that is, singular and plural. For example, swine, swine, deer, deer, trout, trout, aircraft, aircraft.
Friends, the introduction part is closed. Now we are going to next subject, and the next subject is English book. In this first giving study, in that you will say all the topics. Also we cover all textbooks of 8th standard English subject. For example, let's see the chapter Abou Ben Adhem. In Abou Ben Adhem, introduction is given, which is as follows. In introduction, we see that there is not only textual information is given, but also background sound, images, videos, and animation is provided, which is improve educational performance of student.
Chapter 8. Abou Ben Adhem. Abou Ben Adhem, may his tribe increase, awoke one night from a deep dream of peace, and saw within the moonlight in his room, making it rich and like a lily in bloom, an angel writing in a book of gold. Exceeding peace had made Ben Adhem bold, and to the presence in the room he said, "What writest thou?" The vision raised its head, and with a look made of all sweet accord, answered, "The names of those who love the Lord." "And is mine one?" asked Abou. "Nay, not so," replied the angel. Abou spoke more low, but cheerily still, and said, "I pray thee then, write me as one that loves his fellow men." The angel wrote and vanished. The next night it came again with a great wakening light, and showed the names whom love of God had blessed, and lo, Ben Adhem's name led all the rest. by J.H. Lehan. Chapter 8. Abou Ben Adhem. This poem tells the story of a man who spent his life in the service of mankind. One night, Abu suddenly woke up and saw an angel writing something in a book of gold. He was writing the names of those who loved the Lord. On asking, Abu came to know that his name was not there. Then Abu told the angel to write his name as one that loves his fellow men. The angel vanished after some time, but returned the next time. This time, he showed the list of names whom God had blessed, and lo, Ben Adhem's name topped the list. Answer in one word, phrase or sentence. Who did Abu see in his dream? Abu saw an angel. What was the angel doing? Writing something in a book of gold. What did Abu ask him? Abu asked the angel what he was writing. What names did the angel write on the first night? The names of those who loved the Lord. Was Abu's name there in the list? No. How did Abu describe himself? He described himself as one that loves his fellow men. What did the angel show the next day? The angel showed the names whom love of God had blessed. Where was Abu's name in the second list? It was at the top. How many lists are mentioned in the poem? 2.
The introduction part is completed. After that, after English book, we are moved to next subject, and the next subject is Hindi composite. In that, study part is given. In study, there is all poems are added with background music, animations and images, so it will help to doing study or remember poem easily. For demo, we take one poem whose name is Sachi Sundarta. We see that in a verse, poem note, we are added all the required details like words, meaning, poems meaning, questions and answers, which will help to improve your study.
पाठ सच्ची सुंदरता। नए शब्दों के अर्थ राह मार्ग, मुश्किल कठिन, कदम पग, गाथा कथा, दम ताकत, कुरूप बदसूरत, भरम भ्रम, पलने वाले बढ़ने वाले। कविता का परिचय। सच्ची सुंदरता बाहरी नहीं होती, वो तो मन की सुंदरता होती है। जब हमारा मन अच्छे विचारों से भरा होता है तभी उसे सुंदर कहा जाता है। हमें अपने मन में अच्छे विचार करने चाहिए, बड़ों का आदर करना चाहिए, अच्छी बातें करनी चाहिए। हमें मन ही मन सभी का आदर करना चाहिए। हमें सभी के साथ समान व्यवहार करना चाहिए। हमें एक दूसरे का अभिवादन करना चाहिए। हमेशा अपने मित्रों की मदद करनी चाहिए। हमें हमेशा सच बोलना चाहिए और सच्चा व्यवहार करना चाहिए। हमें सभी का सम्मान करना चाहिए और किसी को नीचा नहीं दिखाना चाहिए। हमें एक दूसरे की मदद करनी चाहिए और गलतियों को क्षमा करना चाहिए। हमें बड़ों को प्रणाम करना चाहिए।
Friends, the Hindi composite is closed and now we are turned to next subject, and the next subject is Hindi entire. First we see the study. In study, added all the topics which are included in the 8th standard, also cover whole textbooks of 8th Hindi subject. For example, we take topic आम का पेड़. In this chapter, introduction of आम का पेड़ is given. Let's see introduction. In introduction, we are not only added textual information but also giving background sound, images, videos and animations which will help you improve your study.
पाठ तीसरा, आम का पेड़। आज बो रहा हूँ मैं गुठली आम की, तुम कहते हो ये मेरे किस काम की। जिस दिन मेरे बाल श्वेत हो जाएंगे, उस दिन इस पर आम रसीले आएंगे। बहुत घोंसले होंगे इसकी डाल पर, पंछी गाएंगे पत्तों की ताल पर। जुगनू चमकेंगे रात में तारे बन, हवा चलेगी छू कर सन सन सन। गाय बैल सब यहाँ बैठ पगुराएंगे, थके हुए राही दो पल सुस्ताएंगे। हरी पत्तियां सूर्य किरणों को सोखेंगी, शुद्ध करेंगी हवा प्रदूषण रोकेंगी। तोड़ तोड़ पत्तियां कई ले जाएंगे, बंधनवार बनाकर द्वार सजाएंगे। बच्चे डालों पर चढ़ चढ़ कर झूलेंगे, उन आमों का स्वाद कभी ना भूलेंगे। छाया में बच्चियां खेलने आएंगी और युवतियां अपने खेल दिखाएंगी। मेरी तरह पेड़ बूढ़ा हो जाएगा, कटने पर भी बहुत काम यह आएगा। दरवाजे खिड़की और वरंडा भी, और बनेगा इससे गुल्ली डंडा भी। मेरे पोते पोती उससे खेलेंगे, इस गुठली का फल वे सारे ले लेंगे। पाठ तीसरा, आम का पेड़। प्रस्तावना। कवि की रचनाओं में विविधता दिखाई देती है। प्रस्तुत कविता में ये बताया गया है कि अपने द्वारा लगाए हुए प्रत्येक पेड़ के साथ अपनापन और एक विस्तृत संसार जुड़ा हुआ होता है। सारांश। लोग आम खाते हैं और उसकी गुठलियों को फेंक देते हैं। उनकी दृष्टि में उन गुठलियों का कोई महत्व नहीं है। उन्हें ये पता नहीं कि उन्होंने जिस पेड़ का आम खाया है वो किसी गुठली से ही पैदा हुआ था। इस कविता में सुंदर ढंग से सरल भाषा में गुठली का महत्व बताया गया है। शब्दार्थ। गुठली, फल का कड़ा, रसीले, रस से भरे हुए, ताल, लय, प्रदूषण, अशुद्धि, युवती, जवान स्त्री, पोता, बेटे का बेटा, पोती, बेटे की बेटी, फल, लाभ, स्वाद, जायका, राही, पथिक, सुस्ताना, विश्राम करना। एक वाक्य में उत्तर लिखो। पंछी कैसे गाएंगे? पंछी पेड़ के पत्तों की ताल पर गाएंगे। रात में कौन क्या बनकर चमकेंगे? रात में जुगनू तारे बनकर चमकेंगे। गाय बैल कहाँ बैठकर जुगाली करेंगे? गाय बैल आम के पेड़ के नीचे बैठकर जुगाली करेंगे। बच्चियां और युवतियां कहाँ खेलेंगी? बच्चियां और युवतियां आम के पेड़ की छाया में खेलेंगी। बच्चे क्या कभी नहीं भूलेंगे? बच्चे आमों का स्वाद कभी नहीं भूलेंगे। दीर्घोत्तरी प्रश्न। कवि ने आम का पेड़ क्यों लगाया? कवि आम के पेड़ का महत्व जानता है। उसने सोचा कि पंछी पेड़ पर अपने घोंसले बनाएंगे, वे उसके पत्तों के लय पर गाएंगे। गाय बैल उसके नीचे बैठकर जुगाली करेंगे। थके हुए राही उसकी छाया में कुछ देर बैठकर विश्राम करेंगे। लोग उसके पत्तों से बंधनवार बनाकर अपने द्वार सजाएंगे। बच्चे उसकी डालों पर चढ़कर झूला झुलाएंगे। उसके रसीले आम खाएंगे। कटने पर भी उस पेड़ की लकड़ी उसके पोते पोतियों के काम आएगी। इन तमाम बातों को सोचकर कवि ने आम का पेड़ लगाया। बुढ़ापे में आम का पेड़ किस तरह काम आएगा? बूढ़ा हो जाने पर आम का पेड़ काट डाला जाएगा। उसकी लकड़ी दरवाजे, खिड़कियां और बरामदा बनाने के काम आएगी। यहाँ तक कि उससे गुल्ली डंडा भी बनेगी। कवि के पोते पोतियां उससे खेलेंगे। इस प्रकार बुढ़ापे में भी आम का पेड़ अनेक तरह से काम आएगा। हरी पत्तियां क्या क्या करेंगी? हरी पत्तियां पेड़ की शोभा बढ़ाएंगी। उनसे आम का पेड़ छायादार बनेगा। हरी पत्तियां सूर्य की किरणों को शोषित करेंगी और पेड़ के लिए भोजन तैयार करेंगी। इस प्रक्रिया में वे हवा से कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का उपयोग करेंगी और ऑक्सीजन का विसर्जन करेंगी। इस तरह वे हवा को शुद्ध करेंगी और उसे प्रदूषित होने से रोकेगी। लिंग बदलो। बंदर, बंदरियां। गाय, बैल। बच्ची, बच्चा। मोर, मोरनी। ऊंटनी, ऊंट। हाथी, हाथीनी। बूढ़ा, बुढ़िया। वाक्यों के प्रकार बताओ। सारे देश में पन्ना का नाम मशहूर है। विधानार्थक वाक्य। यह पत्थर तुम्हें कहां से मिलता है? प्रश्नार्थक वाक्य। वाह, कितना सुंदर है ताजमहल। विस्मयार्थक वाक्य। बेटा, रोज सुबह व्यायाम करो। आज्ञार्थक वाक्य। मेरा गांव देखकर तुम्हें खुशी होगी। संभावनार्थक वाक्य।
Now we are close this subject and turn to another subject, and the another subject is Sanskrit composite. In Sanskrit composite, first study is given. In that we see all composites of Sanskrit. Also we cover all textbook of Sanskrit composite subject. For example, let's see Dr. Abdul Kalam. In these pictures we see two parts. First is introduction and second is question and answer. Let's see first part of introduction. In introduction we see that there is not only textual information provided but also animation, videos, images are provided which will help to improve your study.
दशमः पाठः डॉक्टर अब्दुल कलाम महोदयः. Introduction. This lesson is a brief biographical sketch of our ex-president Dr. Abdul Kalam. Dr. APJ अब्दुल कलाम महोदयः भारतस्य ललामभूतः पुरुषः. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is a person who is a gem of India. तमिलनाडु राज्ये रामेश्वराख्ये ग्रामे सः अजायत. He was born at Rameshwar in the state of Tamil Nadu. जैनुलबदीनः तस्य जनकः आशियम्मा च जननी. Jainulabdin is his father and Ashayamma is his mother. नौकावहनं तस्य कुटुम्बस्य उदारनिर्वाहस्य साधनम् अवर्तत. Ferry boating was the means of their livelihood. तेन अल्पधनः अयं परिवारः. So his family was poor. अतः बाल्ये सः परिश्रमैः धनार्जनम् अकरोत्. So he worked very hard to get money right from his childhood. तस्य जनकः न धनिकः न वा उच्चविद्या विभूषितः. His father was neither well-to-do nor educated. तथापि जनकेन जनन्या च सुसंस्कृतः एषः बालः. But still both his parents impressed upon him refined behavior. बाल्यात् प्रभृति तस्य ईश्वरे नितान्ता श्रद्धा आसीत्. Right from his childhood he firmly believed in God. सुखे च दुःखे च तथा निराशायाम् अपि परमेश्वरः एव अस्माकं मार्गदर्शकः इति तस्य प्रगाढः विश्वासः. He firmly believed that God is the only guide in our early, woeful and disappointing days. आकाशे विमानचालनं तस्य स्वप्नः. His dream was to become a pilot. किन्तु यद्यपि तस्य बुद्धिमत्ता असामान्या, तथापि शारीरिकक्षमतायाः न्यूनत्वेन तस्य स्वप्नः पूर्णतां नागच्छत्. But his dream could not come into reality due to his physical weakness, though his intelligence was superb. डॉक्टर कलाम महोदयेन तस्य सहकारिभिः संशोधकैः शास्त्रज्ञैः तन्त्रज्ञैः SLV-3 इत्याख्यः अग्निबाणः निर्मितः. Dr. Kalam prepared a missile called SLV-3 with the help of his colleagues who were scientists and technicians. तस्योड्डयनं नाम अपूर्वः प्रयोगः आसीत्. Its launching was a unique experience. सर्वे भारतीयाः तथा च वैदेशिकाः शास्त्रज्ञाः उत्सुकाः अवर्तन्त. The whole of India and foreign scientists were very eager for its success. किन्तु एषः अग्निबाणः निमिषार्धादेव समुद्रे पतितः. But unfortunately, in a flash of a second, it collapsed in the ocean after its launching. Dr. Kalam महोदयः प्रयोगस्य नायकः आसीत्. Dr. Kalam was the head of this experiment. अतः तेन स्वीकृतम् अपयशः. So he accepted its failure. परं तेन सह विचलितः नाभवत्, but was not steered by the failure. दृढनिर्धारेण नूतनं कार्यं प्रारभत सः. Very confidently he started it again de novo. एतदेव तस्य असामान्यत्वम्, and that was his speciality. सः राष्ट्रपतिपदस्य धुराम् अवहत्. He carried out the responsibility of the presidentship. तथापि छात्रप्रियः एषः प्राध्यापकः छात्रेषु एव अधिकम् अरमत. But popular teacher is more interested in students and vice versa. Dr. Kalam महोदयः सर्वेषु देशेषु भारतीयक्षेपणास्त्रनिर्माता इत्येव ख्यातिं गतः. Dr. Kalam is known all over the India as the father of missile, and the special features of his nature are scientific attitude. वैज्ञानिकदृष्टिः, तन्त्रज्ञाने उच्चकौशल्यं, समाजस्य कृते कृतज्ञता, छात्रेषु विश्वासः, परमेश्वरे च असीमा श्रद्धा एते तस्या विशेषाः. Exceptional skill in technology, gratitude for society, trust in students and firm belief in God. Dr. Kalam महोदयः यथा महान् शास्त्रज्ञः तथा महान् तत्त्वज्ञः अपि. As Dr. Kalam is a great scientist, so is he a great philosopher. वयं नितरामभिमानं वहामहे तस्मिन्. We are really proud of him.
Now we are going to next option is question and answer. In question and answer, we are added all types of question and answer like small questions, big questions, etc., which will help to doing study easily.
Words: नौकावहन, boating. सुसंस्कृतः, cultured. निमिषार्ध, fraction of a second. छात्रप्रिय, popular among students. आख्यः, by name. अल्पधनः, poor. ख्यातिः, fame. धुरा, responsibility. Nyunatva, deficiency. Verb forms. Ajayata, jan jayate, fourth epi, past tense, third person singular. Agachat, gam gachat, first pp, past tense, third person singular. Avaratanta, vrit vart, first ap, past tense, third person singular. Prarabhata, pra plus a plus rab, first ap, past tense, third person singular. Avahat, vah, first pp, past tense, third person singular. Aramata, ram, first ap, past tense, third person singular. Vahamahe, vah, first ap, present tense, first person plural. Answer the following in English. Why had Dr. Kalam to work very hard to get money? His parents used to ferry the boat to make the two ends meet. His family was very poor. Born in a small village, Rameshwar, in Tamil Nadu, Dr. Kalam had to work very hard to help his family. What did he firmly believe in since his childhood? His family was poor, but very much cultured, though not much educated. So, since then, he firmly believed in God. He believed that only God guides him in happiness or sadness. What was Dr. Kalam's dream? Why could it not be realized? His dream was to become a pilot and fly a plane in the sky, but his weak body did not allow him to fulfill it. Which incident shows that Dr. Kalam was uncommon? Dr. Kalam, with the cooperation of his scientists, researchers, and technocrats, prepared a missile called SLV-3. All the scientists were very eagerly waiting for its launching. But in a fraction of a second after its launching, the missile dashed into the ocean. Dr. Kalam, as the head of the project, accepted the responsibility of its failure. But without any disappointment, he restarted his research. Thus, he was an uncommon man. What are Dr. Kalam's special features revealed through the lesson? The creator of Indian missile, Dr. Kalam, liked his students very much, and the students also liked him. Scientific attitude, the exceptional skill in technology, gratitude towards society, firm belief in students and God. These are some other special features of his nature. We all are proud of him as a great philosopher too.
Now friends, we are close this topic and we are going to next topic, the Sanskrit entire. In that we first see study part. In study, we will see all topic name. We are cover all textbook and a standard Sanskrit subject. For example, we see that topic Murkha Sevakna Rakshinam, of which is introduction and question and answer is displayed. The first option we are going to introduction. In introduction we see there is not only textual information given but also animation, videos, images are given which will help to improve study of student.
चतुर्थः पाठः मूर्खसेवकः न रक्षणीयः.
Lesson 4. A fool servant is not to be protected. Introduction. It is very difficult to tell how a fool person would behave at any time, though he is very dear to you. It is rightly said that it is better to be a servant of a wise than a master of a fool. This is a short story of a king who had to lose his life due to a fool monkey. Translation.
अस्ति एकः नृपः. एक राजा अस्तो. सः मृगयार्थं वनं गच्छति.
Once a king went into a forest for hunting.
तदा सः नृपः तरुतले एकं वानरशिशुं पश्यति.
He saw a young one of a monkey under a tree.
दयालु सः नृपः तं शिशुं राजप्रासादम् आनयति.
The kind king brought it to the palace.
नृपः तं कपिशिशुं पुत्रवत् पालयति.
The king brought him the young monkey like his son.
मिष्टान्नभक्षणेन सः वानरः पीवरः भवति.
The monkey got rich food to eat and became strong.
सः कपिः नृपस्य सेवातत्परः शरीररक्षकः भवति.
It was ever ready to serve the king as his bodyguard.
नृपः तस्मिन् नितरां स्नेह्यति.
The king loved it very much.
वानरः सर्वेषां विश्वासार्हः भवति.
It became trustworthy of everyone.
एकदा नृपः निद्राति.
Once the king was asleep.
तदा सः वानरः व्यजनेन नृपं वीजयति.
The monkey was fanning the king.
काचित् मक्षिका नृपस्य वक्षस्थले उपविशति.
A fly sat on the king's chest.
वानरः तां निवारयति.
The monkey drove it away.
किन्तु सा मक्षिका पुनः पुनः आगच्छति.
But the fly came there again and again.
तस्य वक्षस्थले उपविशति. त्याच्या छातीवर बसते. तदा वानरः कुपितः भवति.
Naturally, this makes the monkey very angry.
स्वभावचपलः सः वानरः समीपस्थेन खड्गेन वक्षस्थितां मक्षिकां प्रहरति.
The monkey, with its very unsteady mind, hits the fly with the sword lying nearby.
तत्क्षणे एव मक्षिका उड्डयते.
Instantly, the fly flies away.
किन्तु निशितखड्गप्रहारेण नृपः म्रियते.
But the king gets killed with the sharp pointed sword.
अतः उच्यते मूर्खसेवकः प्रियः अपि न रक्षणीयः इति.
So it is said that even if a fool servant is dear to you, he is not to be protected.
Now the topic is closed, and after that we are going to question and answer. In this section we are providing all types of question and answer, which is improve your knowledge.
Word meaning. Nrupa, masculine, king. Mishtanna, neuter, sweet food. Mrugayartham, for hunting. Nitaram, very much. Shishu, masculine, young one. Vyajanam, neuter, fan. Vishwasarha, masculine, worthy, to be trusted. Rajaprasadah, masculine, place. Vakshah, chest. Peever, well built. Makshika, feminine, a fly. Kupitah, masculine, angry. Samipastha, which is nearly. Nishit, sharp. Swabhava chapalah, masculine, of an unsteady mind. Verbs. Pashyati, drush, 1 pp, present tense, third person singular. Anayati, A अधिक ni 1 pp present tense third person singular. Palayati pal 10 pp present tense third person singular. Bhavati bhu 1 pp present tense third person singular. Snihayati sneha 4 pp present tense third person singular. Vijayati state. Pavishti upa adhika vish 6 pp present tense third person singular. Nivarayati drives away. Agachati a adhika gam 1 pp present tense third person singular. Praharati pra adhika rhu 1 pp present tense third person singular. Uddayate ud adhik d 1 ap present tense third person singular. Mriyate mru 4 ap present tense third person singular. Uchyate it is said. Answer the following. Where did the king see the young one of a monkey? The king saw it under a tree in the forest. How did the monkey become strong? The kind king brought the monkey to the palace and brought it up like his own son. Because of the rich food it got every day, the monkey became strong. What work did the monkey do in the palace? The strong monkey served as the king's bodyguard. Why was the monkey annoyed? Once the king was fast asleep. The monkey was fanning him. At that time, a fly perched on the king's chest. The monkey drove it away, but it frequently came there. This annoyed the monkey. What did the monkey do to drive away the fly? The monkey hit the fly with a sharp sword lying nearby. The fly flew away, but the king was killed.
संस्कृत मध्ये उत्तरे लिहा. नृपः किमर्थं वनं गच्छति? नृपः मृगयार्थं वनं गच्छति. नृपः तरुतले किं पश्यति? नृपः तरुतले एकं वानरशिशुं पश्यति. वानरः केन पीवरः भवति? वानरः मिष्टान्नभक्षणेन पीवरः भवति. वानरः केन नृपं विजयति? वानरः व्यजनेन नृपं विजयति. मक्षिका कुत्र उपविशति? मक्षिका नृपस्य वक्षस्थले उपविशति. वानरः केन मक्षिकां प्रहरति? वानरः समीपस्थितेन खड्गेन मक्षिकां प्रहरति. कीदृशः सेवकः न रक्षणीयः? मूर्खसेवकः न रक्षणीयः.
Identify the form. Vanar, Vanarah, masculine, nominative singular. Nrupasya, Nrupah, masculine, genitive singular. Mashikam, Makshika, feminine, accusative singular. Agachati, A adhika gam, 1 pp present tense, third person singular. Praharati, pra adhika rhu, 1 pp present tense, third person singular. Give form. Accusative singular, vana, vanam. Nrupa, nrupam. Genitive plural, vanar, vanaranam. Makshika, makshikanam. Locative singular, tad, masculine, tasmin. Tad, feminine, tasyam.
समानार्थी संस्कृत शब्द द्या. नृपः भूपतिः. वानरः कपिः. पीवरः पुष्टः. सेवकः दासः. मूर्खः मूढः, खड्गः असिः। विरुद्धार्थी संस्कृत शब्द द्या। प्रियः अप्रियः, प्रसन्नः अप्रसन्नः, गच्छति आगच्छति, नयति आनयति, शिशुः वयस्कः, दयालुः कठोरः।
Friends, we are close this subject and going to the another new subject, and the next subject is mathematics. In this subject study is given. In study, all the mathematics topic are included. Example, we see the topic statistic. In this topic, introduction is given. Now we start the introduction.
Statistics. We often come across quantitative information given in advertisements, newspapers, periodicals, annual reports, mark sheets, census reports, etc. The science of collecting various types of quantitative information, classifying and analyzing it, arranging it in a specific manner and drawing inference from it is known as statistics. Let us get acquainted with some of the terms used in statistics. Scores. Each number in the given quantitative information is termed as a score. Mean. The average of the given scores is known as the mean of the scores. Mean is equal to sum of all the scores divided by number of scores. For example, the marks scored by 12 students in an examination are as follows: 34, 40, 38, 41, 39, 46, 41, 42, 41, 34, 37, 47. Then find the average of their marks, or what is the average of marks obtained by them. Mean is equal to sum of all scores divided by number of scores. Now add all the marks obtained by the students and divide it.
Friends, here is not only introduction, as well as we use text, images, videos and animation. Here statistics topic is start.
By 12, since there are 12 students. The average of the marks of 12 students is equal to 37 plus 40 plus 38 plus 41 plus 39 plus 46 plus 41 plus 42 plus 41 plus 34 plus 37 plus 47 divided by 12. That is equal to 480 divided by 12. That is equal to 40. Therefore, average of the marks of students is equal to 40. By using this method, mean, that is average of daily sold books, marks obtained in special subject, daily attendance can be found out. Frequency. While determining the mean and average of scores, if these scores are observed properly, it is seen that some scores occur twice, some scores occur thrice, some occur only once. A number which indicates how many times a score occurs is known as the frequency of that score. A frequency table includes scores and their corresponding frequencies. When the number of scores is large, tally marks are used to determine the frequency. Milk in liters bought by 10 families in a housing society one day was as follows: 1, 0.5, 1.5, 3.5, 2.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3 and 2.5. For this we will prepare a frequency table as follows to show this information. This is the frequency table. which include scores, that is the milk in liters, tally marks and frequency. 0.1, 1 and 1, 1, 1 and 1. 1.5, tally mark 1, frequency 1. 2.0, tally marks 1, frequency 1. 2.5, tally marks 3, frequency 3. 3.0, tally marks 2, frequency 2. 3.5, tally mark 1, frequency 1. So total frequency is 10. It is observed that in the given scores, the lowest score is 0.5 and the highest score is 3.5. Now half liter or 0.5, how many times this score occurs? That many tally marks are drawn in the column headed tally marks. Thus tally marks are drawn against each score. Counting the number of tally marks, the corresponding number is written in the frequency column against the score. That all the scores are recorded is confirmed by adding the frequencies. If in a group there are 5 tally marks, it is denoted as like this. If there are more than 5, example 7 tally marks, it is denoted as like this. Classification of scores. When the number of scores are less, then it becomes easier to note down those records directly in the table. But when scores are more, then it becomes inconvenient to record each and every score separately. In such cases, the scores are grouped conveniently. These groups are called as class or class interval. Preparing frequency table. We have already discussed frequency table and tally marks. Let us use them to solve one example. The daily maximum temperatures recorded in a city during the month of August 2003 were as follows in degrees Celsius. Prepare the frequency table by considering groups as 27 to 28, 29 to 30, 31 to 32, 33 to 34, 35 to 36, 37 to 38. The frequency table is as follows. So total frequency is 31. Midpoint of the class. When the number of scores to be shown in the first column is large, it becomes inconvenient to record each score separately. In such a case, the scores are grouped conveniently and the frequency of these groups is found. Such a group is called a class or a class interval. If the class 30 to 35 has 7 tally marks, means there are 7 scores present within this range. In the class 30 to 35, the lower limit is 30 and the upper limit is 35. The average of the lower and the upper limits of a class is known as the midpoint of the class or the class mark. Midpoint of the class is equal to lower limit of class plus upper limit of class divided by 2. Here the class is 30 to 35. Therefore, its class mark or midpoint of the class is 32.5. Class mark is equal to 30 plus 35 upon 2. That's equal to 32.5. Frequency polygon and its reading. Now we will see the previous example. Here the temperature recorded is given. Also, class intervals are prepared. The frequency table for this is as follows. Based on this information, the frequency polygon is as follows. It reveals the following information. First, this frequency polygon is based on a frequency table which includes the classes 27 to 28, 29 to 30, 31 to 32, 33 to 34, 35 to 36, 37 to 38. Second, the midpoints of these classes are 27.5, 29.5, 31.5, 33.5, 35.5, and 37.5 respectively. Third, the frequencies of these class intervals are 1, 3, 5, 8, 7, 7. Fourth, the frequency of the class 33 to 34 is the highest one. Fifth, the given table does not include the classes 25 to 26 and 39 to 40, but they are used to obtain a closed figure. The frequency of each of these is 0.
Friends, the maths topic is close and we are going to next subject, and the next subject is science. In the science, divided into three parts: study, games and test. Now we see the part 1, study. F9, this study all the topics are including in science subject. Example, we see the topic, the structure of cell and microorganism. This topic divided into three parts: introduction, summary, question and answer. Now let's go first part, introduction. Here only introduction is not given, as well as we using text, images, video and animation.
Microorganisms. Living things which are invisible to naked eye are called microorganisms. Microorganisms are unicellular. Smallest particle of an element is called an atom. Particles smaller than 100 micrometers are not visible to our eyes. The microorganisms are mainly divided into protozoa, algae, fungi, bacteria and viruses. The moldy growth on bread is known as fungi. As fungi doesn't possess chlorophyll, it is parasitic. Viruses have neither cellular structure nor an independent existence. The foot and mouth disease, which is observed in cows and buffaloes, is a viral disease. Dogs are affected by rabies. Diseases which spread through actual contact are called contagious diseases. Rat is the carrier of plague disease. Malaria is spread by the female Anopheles mosquito. Chlorine gas is used to kill viruses in water. Vaccination of polio is done orally. Spreading of pesticides on plants is for preventive and curative measures. The rust that affects wheat crop and ergot that affects bajra are fungal diseases. The wilt disease that affects the tomato plant is caused by Pseudomonas species.
Friends, the introduction part is completed and we are going to second part is summary.
Chapter 7. The structure of a cell and microorganisms. The cell has various constituents. They are called organelles. The cell membrane is the outer covering of a cell. The cell wall is found only in plant cells. The nucleus controls all the functions of the cell. Mitochondria produce energy from the food material in the cell and supply the energy to the cell when required. The virus has a covering of proteins. It contains deoxyribonucleic acid DNA or ribonucleic acid RNA. The cell is the basic constituent of every living thing. The main parts of a cell are the nucleus, cytoplasma and cell membrane. Some microorganisms are useful while others are harmful.
Friends, we are going to third part question and answer. In this part, we are providing all types of question and answer.
Chapter 7. The structure of cell and microorganisms. Answer the following questions. List the characteristics of the cell membrane. The cell membrane is the outer covering of a cell like a very thin, flexible layer. It protects the inner parts of cell and regulates the flow of substances that enter into and pass out of the cell. It also maintains the shape of the cell. Explain the functions of the nucleus. The functions of the nucleus are to control all the functions of the cell, take part in cell division. Inherent characteristics are transmitted to the next generations according to the genes on the chromosomes in the nucleus. What functions do vacuoles perform? Vacuoles store products of excretion and secretions temporarily. Differentiate between plant cell and animal cell. Plant cell. The cell wall surrounds the cell membrane. Animal cell. There is no covering around the cell membrane. Plant cell. Vacuoles are larger and more in number. Vacuoles are fewer and smaller in animal cell. Plant cell. The cell has chlorophyll. Animal cell. There is no chlorophyll. Differentiate between cell membrane and cytoplasm. Cell membrane. Cell membrane protects the inner parts of the cell. Cytoplasm. The substance found within the cell excluding the nucleus is called cytoplasm. Cell membrane. It allows and regulates the flow, exchange of substances that enter and leave the cell. Cytoplasm. Water-soluble organic and inorganic substances are found in the cytoplasm. Cell membrane. Cell membrane maintains the shape of the cell. Cytoplasm. Cell organelles are found in the cytoplasm. Write notes on mitochondria. Mitochondria are of tubular shape. Sometimes in some cells they may have other shapes. A mitochondria, singular, has a double wall. The inner wall of the mitochondria has folds. Antibiotics. Antibiotics are medicines used to treat bacterial disease. Antibiotics are called broad spectrum. They can be used to destroy more than one type of bacteria that attacks the body. For example, penicillin, algae penicillin. Harmful bacteria. Staphylococcus bacteria produces a poisonous substance called enteroxin as it grows on foodstuffs. Eating such foodstuffs causes diarrhea and vomiting, but if treated on time, it can be cured. Bacteria called Clostridium are likely to grow in canned food after expiry date. These bacteria produce toxic substance. So, we must not consume canned food after expiry date. When we buy canned food, we must always check the expiry date. Useful bacteria. The ribosome bacteria found in the nodules on the roots of leguminous plants are useful as nitrogen-fixing agents. They transform nitrogen in the air to nitrogen compounds. These nitrogen compounds make soil fertile. The azotobacter, a kind of bacteria in the soil, also fix nitrogen in the air independently. Some bacteria decompose dead plants and animals and produce humus. Protozoa. Protozoa is a class of unicellular animals. Their cells do not contain chlorophyll. They have a cell membrane and a nucleus. They grow by obtaining ready food materials. When protozoa like amoeba enter our stomach through contaminated food or water, they causes illness like diarrhea, vomiting, etc. Some protozoa are harmful.
Now friends, we are close this topic and going to the second part of Friends, we are going to second part of the science and the second part is game. In this game, 16 educations are given, each standard divided into 4 games. Here, 4 games are selected in the structure of cell and micro-organism topic, such as road cross, helicopter, Spider-Man and horse race. We are played the game road cross. Here we are display all the science topic as well as two option. First option is all question and second option is any 5 question. Friends, we are select any 5 questions option and the topic is the structure of a cell and microorganism. At the time of playing game, you bear to give answer of asked questions. Here you are select one topic or more topics. Select one option to be below option. Example, here select the topic, the structure of a cell and the select option any 5 questions. In this game, we see the boy has reached a home without touching the cars. We are write wrong answers 2 times, then third time answer is automatically blink. This is the main way to the finding answer.
Right. 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 Right.
After finishing the game, one message box is displayed. That is, do you want to play again? If you want to play again, then select correct button, and if you want to exit, then click exit button. Now we are close the game. Friends, we are going to third option, and third option is test. Here all the chapters are displayed. Here two options are given in solve the test. First is all questions and second is any 5 questions. First we select the chapter, the structure of a cell and microorganism, and select the option any 5 questions. Now your test is started. Two options are given and you select the right answer. Your test is start. Friends, your exam is over and in result a result is displayed. In result, including required time and getting marks. If you want to see your right answer, then select the option right answer. After that, correct answer is display green color and wrong answer is display maroon color. Now the test is closed. Friends, after finishing science subject, we are going to new subject and the new subject is virtual lab. In virtual lab, 10 topics are displayed. Now we see the topic is to show that a reaction between an acid and a base result in the formation of a natural solution. Friends, in this topic we are giving whole practical of acid and natural solution.
To show that a reaction between an acid and a base results in the formation of a neutral solution. Requirements: stand, burette, pipette, conical flask, dilute hydrochloric acid, dilute solution of sodium hydroxide, phenolphthalein, litmus paper, glass tube, etc. Procedure: fix a dry burette in a stand as shown in the figure. Close the tap of the burette. With the help of a funnel, fill the burette with dilute hydrochloric acid up to the mark O ml. Dip the lower end of the pipette in a dilute solution of sodium hydroxide and suck the air in the pipette slowly from the upper end of the pipette. You will see the solution rising in the pipette. When the level of the solution reaches the mark on the pipette, stop sucking air and close the upper end of the pipette with a finger. the volume of the solution in the pipette will be 10 ml. Take this solution in a conical flask. Add 4 or 5 drops of the indicator phenolphthalein to the solution in the conical flask with the help of a glass tube. The solution will turn pink. Raise the burette and place the conical flask under it. Turn the tap of the burette so that the dilute hydrochloric acid falls in the flask drop by drop. Shake the flask slowly and continuously as the acid drops fall into it. Close the tap of the burette at the moment the solution in the conical flask becomes colorless. Dip pieces of red and blue litmus paper into the solution in the conical flask. Observations. On slowly addition of dilute hydrochloric acid to the conical flask, the pink color of the solution fades. When an adequate quantity of the acid is added to the flask, at once a single drop of the acid changes the color of the solution in the flask and makes it spontaneously colorless. The red litmus paper remains red and blue one remains blue. Conclusion. The reaction between an acid and a base results in the formation of a neutral solution.
Friends, now we close the subject is virtual lab and we are going to next subject is history. In history, divided in 3 parts. First is study, second is game and last is test. Now we see the first part, study. In study, all the topics are included in history subject. For example, we see the topic the age of resonance. The topic divided into 3 parts, introduction, summary and question and answer. Now let's go part 1, introduction. Here introduction is not only given but also we are using text, images, videos of the topic.
Chapter 1. The Age of Renaissance. Introduction. Renaissance means rebirth or revival. The modernization of a province depends upon the nature of Renaissance in that province. In 15th century, that is, during the last phase of the medieval era in Europe, the revival occurred in the fields of art, philosophy, architecture, etc. Many changes and developments occurred in India during the medieval era. Many changes were seen in all fields of human life due to Renaissance. The Renaissance changed the way in which men looked at themselves. Man started assessing, analyzing himself. He started to think about his hidden potentials. He could realize the boundaries of his knowledge. His views towards the life broadened. He started thinking about an all-around progress. Its effects were seen in all fields of human life. Example, literature, science, art, philosophy, technology, and many other fields. The example of the great artist Leonardo da Vinci was an all-rounder and highly skilled person gives us an idea of the extent of progress made during the Renaissance. He was a painter, sculptor, architect, and an engineer too. He was an eminent mathematician, musician, and an astronomer all cast into one. The biography of Leonardo da Vinci reveals a great French intellectual personality, proves that the intellectual capacity of a man is boundless and knowledge has no limits. one can grasp limitless knowledge in this world. The period between 13th century AD to 16th century AD is known as the Age of Renaissance. Some important historical events of global importance took place during this period. These events have a great influence on the development of modern India. In this lesson, we will learn all such events. Things we will learn: the Age of Renaissance period, the nature of Renaissance, its effects, the Reform movement, geographical discoveries, the background of geographical discoveries, the consequences of these discoveries, the background for the modern age. Elaboration: the Age of Renaissance period, the nature of Renaissance, its effects. During the last phase of the medieval era in Europe, that is 13th century AD to 16th century AD, the developments like the Renaissance, the geographical discoveries and the Reformation led down the formation of the modern age. This era is called as the Age of Renaissance. This Age of Renaissance was initiated in Italy. Italian sailors started trading with the countries of Asia and Europe. This trading led to the rise of the class of merchants and brought prosperity to the cities of Italy. This class of merchants lent patronage to arts. The European society, which had a tremendous influence of religion till the 13th century, started making many changes in all fields of human life from the 13th century onwards. These changes were initiated in Italy, and hence Italy became the center of this change. This Renaissance was based on humanism. The intellectual powers of people evolved during this period. There was intellectual awakening of the society. Man could see at his life with a broad aspect. Man acquired a maturity of thoughts. He developed an ability of discriminating between the good and bad, just and unjust, right or wrong. Man could realize that he only is the sculptor of his life. He became more confident. He started gaining knowledge about many things and became inquisitive about the things around him. He tried to shape his life in a better manner by updating his knowledge and developing new skills. Like Leonardo da Vinci, this Renaissance period was also witnessed by the great playwright Shakespeare and the scientists like Copernicus and Galileo, who had limitless talents. The Renaissance was a comprehensive movement. It had encircled all the aspects of life. The Renaissance was expressed in the form of new works of art in various fields like philosophy, literature, music, sculpture, painting, architecture, science, and so on. New styles emerged in art and literature. People started expressing human emotions and feelings in various arts and literature. The printing press was invented around 1450. As a result, new ideas, new concepts and knowledge could easily reach to one and all in the society. It nourished the intellectual prosperity. Leonardo da Vinci was a great man during the age of Renaissance. He was a painter, sculptor, architect, engineer, mathematician, musician and an astronomer too. The great achievement of Leonardo in all these fields make us imagine the limitless capacity of a man to grasp the knowledge. The Renaissance challenged the traditional knowledge, blind faith, many abominable practices, age-old customs, etc. The natural events, mysteries of nature, which were till today related with the divine power, religion, etc., now were thought with an angle of scientific knowledge about them. On the basis of experimentation, knowledge and the power of observation, the disciplines like physics, chemistry, astronomy and so on began to develop. They have made the life of man comfortable and happy. The Reform movement. As we have discussed earlier, religion had a tremendous influence over medieval European society. The ignorant people were deceived by the priests who used to give undue importance to religious rites and rob the superstitious people in the name of religion. The independent thinkers attacked the old meaningless religions and beliefs. The movement was launched against the deceitful priests who used to plunder the superstitious people in the name of religion. This movement in Europe is known as the Reformation. The malpractices in the Institute of Religion and the hypocritical behavior of the clergy were criticized by the thinkers like Wycliffe, Erasmus, Calvin, and others. The common people did not understand the language of the holy book of the Christians, that is the Bible, which was in Latin. During the period of the Reform movement, the Bible was translated into English, French, and other languages of the common people. Hence, it became easier for the people to understand the content of the Bible. People found that there was a drastic difference between the teaching of the Bible and the preaching of the Roman Catholic Church. They realized that they had been deceived because of lack of knowledge. The evils existing in the Roman Catholic Church were strongly protested by Martin Luther. His followers are therefore known as Protestants. In addition to the Roman Catholic order, there was a rise of new Christian sect of Protestants. The newly emerged middle class supported the religion reform movement. This movement rendered individual freedom. It introduced the concepts of rationalism. Man developed materialistic outlook. Geographical discoveries. The background of geographical discoveries, the consequence of discoveries. The Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople, that is Istanbul, in AD 1453. This city was the capital of the former Byzantine Empire, also known as the Eastern Roman Empire. The Turks blocked all the land routes passing through their empire. Thus, Europe had to find new routes to travel to the countries of the East. The sea route to India was discovered by Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese sailor, in 1498. Columbus had set out in search of India. He landed on a shore which he wrongly believed to be the Indian territory. Later, the Italian sailor Amerigo Vespucci reached the same shore following the route discovered by Columbus. This unknown territory was named as America after Amerigo. Thus, Columbus, who had set out in search of India, reached America. The Portuguese sailor Bartolomé Dias set out in the hope of finding out a new sea route to India. He reached the southern tip of Africa, and this tip is called the Cape of Good Hope. The Portuguese sailor Ferdinand Magellan was killed in a skirmish in 1519. He had set out on a voyage with the ambition of circumnavigating the earth. The circumnavigation was completed by his co-sailors then. As new sea routes connecting Europe with the East were discovered, European trade with Asia and Africa prospered. A competition for trade started in European countries. There was a rise of mercantilism. The ruling power should give protection to the trade and industries in their country if the nation were to become prosperous. This view was prevailing widely at that time, and this economic policy is called as mercantilism. This policy led to the formation of trading companies. The European traders started investigating their profits in new industries and pooled their resources to raise capital for trade. The East India Company that had come to India for trading was one such company from Europe. With the increase in the trade, a new class of professionals such as bankers, agents, shopkeepers, accountants and clerks emerged, and it was called as the middle class. Later on, mercantilism gave rise to colonialism. The European nations established their colonies in various parts of the continents of America, Africa and Asia and exploited the people there. The European traders started buying goods from the colonies at a considerably low price and then sold them in Europe at a much higher price. The background for the modern age. Following factors were responsible for the preparation of the background for the modern age: the Renaissance, developments in new sciences, knowledge updation, the Reformation movement, rise of the new Christian sect of Protestants, geographical discoveries, establishment of the policy of mercantilism, which gave rise to colonialism, emergence of the middle class. The modern era indeed began with the Age of Revolution. The 18th century is known as the Age of Revolution, during which many events such as the American War of Independence, the French Revolution and the Industrial Revolution took place.
Friends, now close the introduction and we are going to second part is summary. Summary is important point are given in short, which will help to doing more study in short period.
Summary. The last phase of the medieval era in Europe, that is 13th century AD to 16th century AD, is called as the Age of Renaissance. The Renaissance brought about the developments in each and every field of human life. During the Renaissance, the Greek and Roman traditions in the field of art, architecture and philosophy, etc. were revived. Italy was the center of this Renaissance. The trade of Italian sellers with the Asian and European countries gave rise to the class of merchants, and this class of merchants lent patronage to arts. Humanism was the most important value put forth by Renaissance. Man became the center of all thoughts. The printing press was invented around 1450. As a result, it became possible to take new ideas, new concepts and knowledge to one and all in the society. The great painter, sculptor, architect, engineer, mathematician and astronomer like Leonardo da Vinci, the great playwright Shakespeare, and the well-known scientists like Copernicus and Galileo witnessed the Renaissance period. Physics, chemistry, astronomy and other disciplines developed during this era. The movement that was launched by the independent thinkers in Europe to oppose the deceitful priests who used to rob people by giving underimportance to religious rites is known as the Reformation. Wycliffe, Erasmus, Calvin and other thinkers criticized the malpractices in the Institute of Religion. They took the initiative in translating the Bible, the holy book of the Christians, from Latin to common languages like English and French. Martin Luther protested against the evils prevalent in the Roman Catholic Church, and it gave rise to a new Christian sect of Protestants. Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople, that is Istanbul, in AD 1453. The Turks blocked all the land routes passing through the Byzantine Empire, whose capital was Istanbul. Thus, Europe was forced to find new routes to travel to the countries of the East. Cape of Good Hope, that is the southern tip of Africa, and America were discovered by the Portuguese sailor Bartolomé Dias and Columbus respectively. The sea route to India was discovered by Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese sailor, in 1498. As a result of geographical discoveries, there was an emergence of mercantilism, middle class and colonialism. The European nations established their colonies in various parts of the continents of America, Asia and Africa. The Renaissance, the Reformation and the geographical discoveries laid the foundation for the modern era.
Now close the summary part and we are going to third and last part is question and answer. Now we see the third part. In this part, we are providing all types of question and answer.
Chapter 1. The Age of Renaissance. Answer the following questions, one sentence each. Which is the most important value put forth by the Renaissance? The most important value put forth by Renaissance is humanism. What goods did the European countries import from the East? The European countries imported sugar, silk, textile, condiments and other valuables from the East. Why are the followers of Martin Luther called Protestants? Martin Luther protested against the evils prevalent in the Roman Catholic Church. His followers are therefore known as Protestants. Answer the following questions in 2 to 3 sentences each. Which period is called as the Age of Renaissance? During the last phase of the medieval era in Europe, 13th century AD to 16th century AD, the developments like the Renaissance, the geographical discoveries and the Reformation laid the foundation of the modern age. This period is known as the Age of Renaissance. Write the names of the great intellectuals who were the products of the Renaissance period. The great playwright Shakespeare and well-known scientists like Copernicus and Galileo were the products of the Renaissance period. Leonardo da Vinci, a person with limitless intellectual capacity, was also born during the age of Renaissance. He was a painter, sculptor, architect, engineer, mathematician, musician, and astronomer all cast into one. Which changes occurred in the field of art and literature during the age of Renaissance? The Renaissance was a comprehensive movement which found expression in fields like philosophy, literature, science, music, sculpture, painting, and architecture. New works of art were created in all these fields. New styles were developed in art and literature. The art and literature reflected human feelings and emotions, joys and sorrows. Literature came to be produced in regional languages which people could follow. Till then, books used to be in the manuscript form. The printing press was invented in 1450. Hence, it became possible to take new ideas, new concepts and knowledge to one and all in the society. Which changes occurred during the age of Renaissance in the ideas about the human beings? The most important value put forth by Renaissance is humanism. During this period, man started looking at himself with a different attitude. He could see himself as the most intelligent of all the animals. He can discriminate between good and bad, decide what is right or wrong by using his discerning power. It is but natural for man to have emotions, feelings and desires. Man was convinced that he himself had the power to shape his own destiny. Man became the center of all thoughts. What is called as the Reformation? The deceitful priests used to give undue importance to religious rites and practices by taking advantage of the ignorance of the people. They robbed the people in the name of religion. The movement that was launched in Europe by the independent thinkers to oppose all the malpractices is known as the Reformation. What is meant by mercantilism? European trade with Asia and Africa prospered because of the new sea routes connecting Europe with the East. Initially, Portugal and Spain were at the topmost position of this trade. Later, there began a competition for trade among England, France, Holland, and other European countries. During this period, the view that strengthened intensity was that the ruling power should give protection to the trade and industries in their country if the nation were to become prosperous. This economic policy is known as mercantilism. Which people were included in the middle class? As a result of the growth in the trade, a new class of professionals such as bankers, agents, shopkeepers, clerks and accountants emerged. This new class came to be called as the middle class. What is colonialism? The European nations established their colonies in various parts of the continents of America, Asia, Africa and Australia. The European traders used to buy goods from the colonies at a considerably low price and then sold them in Europe at much higher price. In order to exploit the colonies in more systematic manner, the Europeans grabbed the power there using force. This policy is known as colonialism. Give reasons for the following statements. The followers of Martin Luther came to be called as Protestants. People realized that there was a lot of difference between the teaching of the Bible and preaching of the Roman Catholic Church. Martin Luther protested against the evils prevalent in the Roman Catholic Church. His followers are therefore known as Protestants. A new Christian sect of Protestants arose in addition to the already existing Roman Catholic order. Europe was forced to find new routes to travel to the countries of the East. In AD 1453, the Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople, that is Istanbul. This city was the capital of the former Byzantine Empire, also known as the Eastern Roman Empire. The Turks blocked all the land routes passing through their empire. These land routes were used by the Europeans to travel to the countries of the East. After these routes were blocked, the flow of goods, however, stopped. Thus, Europe was forced to find new routes to travel to the countries of the East. Answer the following questions in 5 to 7 sentences each. Write a brief account of the geographical discoveries in the beginning of 15th century. The Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople, that is Istanbul, in AD 1453. The European trade with the countries of the East, however, stopped because the Turks blocked all the land routes passing through the empire. Europe was therefore forced to find new routes to travel to the countries of the East. The Portuguese sailor Bartolomé Dias reached the southern tip of Africa in the hope of finding out a new sea route to India. This tip is called the Cape of Good Hope. Columbus, who had set out in search of India, landed on a shore which he wrongly believed to be Indian territory. Later, the Italian sailor Amerigo Vespucci reached the same shore following the route taken by Columbus. Because of him, it became clear that it was not the coast of India. This new, previously unknown territory came to be called America after Amerigo. Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese sailor, discovered the sea route to India in 1498. The Portuguese sailor Ferdinand Magellan set out on a voyage in 1519 with the ambition of circumnavigating the earth. He was killed in a skirmish before he completed the voyage. His co-sailors completed the circumnavigation. Explain the statement. There was the dawn of new sciences during the age of Renaissance. Traditional knowledge, blind faith and age-old customs were all challenged during the Renaissance period. Man began to use all his sense organs more consciously in the process of the construction of knowledge. Scientists began to reveal the mysteries of nature through experimentation and the power of observation. Physics, chemistry, astronomy and other disciplines developed in this era. Hence, it is said that there was the dawn of new sciences during the age of Renaissance.
Now the question and answer is completed and we are going to second part of the history. Now friends, we are going to second part of the history and the second part is game. In this game, 16 education games are given and it is standard divided into 4 games. 4 games are selected here for standard 8 is Red Cross, Helicopter, Spider-Man and Horse Race. For example, we play horse race game. Friends, in this game, all topics as well as 2 options are given. These 2 options are all questions and any 5 questions. You have to select one or more topic and select our options given 2 options. For example, we select the age of Renaissance in this game and select the option any 5 questions. There is, you have to set right option color horse. If your answer is right, then you can ride on that horse. Your mass increases. Otherwise, you are not able to sit that horse and your mass not increases. The main feature of this game is if your answer is wrong at 2 times, then third time correct answer is blink automatically, which will help you to remember answer of the question. After finishing the game, one message box is displayed, that is, do you want to play again? If you want to play again game, then select correct button, and if you want to exit the game, then select exit button. Now the game is closed. And now we are going to the third part of history, that is test. Here all the chapters are displayed. Two options are given in solve the test. First is all questions and second is any 5 questions. And you are select the option is any 5 questions and the topic is select the age of Renaissance. Your test is start. You have 4 options and you have to select the correct answer. Now your test is closed and your result is displayed. In the result, including required timing and getting marks. If you have to know right answers of your questions, then you click the right answer option. After that, true answer is displayed the green color and wrong answer is displayed the maroon color. Your test is completed. Now, friends, now we close the history subject and we are going to new subject is civics. Civics subject divided into 3 parts. The first is study, second is game and third is test. Now we are see the first option is study. Study all the topics are included of civics subject. For example, we see the topic United Nations. This topic divided into 3 parts, introduction, summary and question and answer. We are going to first option is introduction. Here introduction is not only given but also text, images, videos and animation is given.
Chapter 4 United Nations. In this chapter, we will acquaint ourselves with the United Nations, an international organization working for world peace. 2 world wars took place in the first half of the 20th century. Taking into account the heavy toll of human life and money that the world wars took, all the countries in the world felt the need to take some concrete steps to establish world peace. The League of Nations, which was created to establish world peace after the First World War, was not very successful in its objective. After the Second World War, though, the idea that destructive wars must be avoided strengthened, and on 24th October 1945, United Nations, an international organization, was established. Therefore, 24th October is celebrated as the United Nations Day. All nations must be aware of the responsibility of maintaining world peace. The United Nations is an organization which fosters this feeling. All the nations that accept the Charter of the United Nations can become its members. The United Nations, an international organization, is based on some important principles. It is an organization of sovereign nations. It is a platform for resolving international issues through peaceful means. All member nations in this organization have equal status. There is no discrimination on the basis of rich, poor, developed, underdeveloped. All member nations must resolve their international issues by peaceful means, is a binding on the nations. Objectives. The United Nations has certain specific objectives. These are as follows: to enhance international peace and security, to develop friendly relations among nations, to resolve all international issues through peaceful means, to protect and promote human rights and freedom. The United Nations coordinates the activities of different countries in order to achieve the above objectives. United Nations. The 6 main organs of the United Nations are as follows: 1. General Assembly, 2. Security Council, 3. Economic and Social Council, 4. International Court of Justice, 5. Trusteeship Council, 6. Secretariat. The headquarters of the United Nations is in New York. The main offices of all the organs except the International Court of Justice are located here. The office of the International Court of Justice is in The Hague in Netherlands. General Assembly. Structure. The representatives of all member nations are the members of the General Assembly. The strength of the member nations till 2006 was 192. Every nation has the right to cast a single vote during voting. In 1953, Srimati Vijayalakshmi Pandit was the chairperson of the United Nations General Assembly. She was the first lady to hold this post. Functions of the General Assembly. The General Assembly has the right to pass resolutions regarding issues of international peace and security. It carries out tasks such as discussing reports received from the Security Council and passing the UN budget. It also elects the non-permanent members of the Security Council and the members of the Economic and Social Council. During its sessions, all the member nations discuss important international issues. Therefore, the UN General Assembly is considered to be an important forum for the discussion of international questions. Security Council. Structure. 15 nations are the members of the Security Council. America, France, United Kingdom, Russia and China are the permanent members of the Security Council. The remaining 10 non-permanent members are elected for 2 years from the other member nations. The 5 permanent members have the veto power. Veto power means the right to reject any decision. Any decision of the Council must have concurrence of all 5 permanent members. Opposition by any one of the permanent members leads to a rejection of the decision. Functions of the Security Council. Maintaining international peace and security, probing into international disputes, suggesting ways to resolve international issues, taking military or economic action against aggressor countries if necessary, etc. are the functions of the Security Council. Economic and Social Council. Structure. This council was established to coordinate the social and economic functions of the UN. It has a total of 54 members. Functions of the Economic and Social Council. Initiating discussions on the questions of poverty, social and economic inequalities, apartheid, etc. at the global level, creating awareness about human rights and freedom, undertaking projects about social, cultural and educational issues, etc. are the functions of this council. The International Court of Justice. Structure. There are 15 judges in the International Court of Justice. These judges are selected by the Security Council and the General Assembly. Functions of the International Court. The court performs the functions of adjudicating the disputes between 2 or more member nations, providing the right interpretation to international laws, norms and traditions, etc. The Trusteeship Council. After the Second World War, the Trusteeship Council was responsible for administrating territories which were incapable of governing themselves. The purpose of this council was to make the people capable of running their own government. The UN helped such territories till 1994. Once the Palau Islands in the Pacific Ocean became independent, the Trusteeship Council was dissolved on 1st November 1994. Secretariat. Structure. The Secretariat was formed to look after the administrative functions of the UN. The Chief of the Secretariat is called the Secretary General of the UN. The General Assembly and the Security Council collectively select the Secretary General for a period of 5 years. Functions of the Secretariat. The Secretariat carries out the tasks of organizing meetings of the General Assembly and the Security Council, holds international conferences on global issues, studies important issues like protection of human rights and disarmament, and maintains official records of the UN. These and other functions are carried under the guidance of the Secretary General. Apart from the 6 major organs, the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, the International Court of Justice, the Trustee Council and the Secretariat, there are many affiliated organizations of the UN working in the areas of social and economic development. Below is a brief introduction to some of these organizations. International Labour Organizations, Geneva. This organization works for the improvement of conditions of the workers, tries to ensure that the workers get due wages and their health is protected, etc. Food and Agriculture Organization, Rome. This organization works for solving the problems of poverty, malnutrition and starvation in the world, and also guides the process of enhancing food grain production. United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, Paris. Promoting interaction between different countries in the fields of education, science and culture is the main function of this organization. It also tries to reduce illiteracy in the world. World Health Organization, Geneva. This organization works to improve the physical and mental health of the people in the world, carries out immunization campaigns to control epidemics, etc. International Atomic Energy Agency, Vienna. This agency has been assigned the important task of keeping a check on the use of civic nuclear energy, that it will not be used for military purposes, and visiting and inspecting the nuclear sites in different countries for the same.
Friends, now the complete is introduction and we are going to summary. In summary, important parts of topic given in short which will help you doing more study within short period.
Chapter 4. United Nations. Summary. United Nations was established on 24th of October 1945. United Nations is an organization of sovereign nations. United Nations is a platform for resolving international issues through peaceful means. General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, International Court of Justice, Trusteeship Council and Secretariat are the 6 main organs of the United Nations. The headquarters of the United Nations are in New York. The office of the International Court is in The Hague in Netherlands. Srimati Vijayalakshmi Pandit was the chairperson of the United Nations General Assembly in 1953. The General Assembly has the right to pass resolutions regarding issues of international peace and security. There are a total number of 15 judges in the International Court. The Chief of the Secretariat is called the UN Secretary General. FAO's main function is to solve the problem of poverty, malnutrition and starvation in the world. WHO is engaged in the task of improving the physical and mental health of the people in the world.
Now complete the summary and we are going to third and last part is question and answer. All types of question and answer are given here.
United Nations. Answer in one sentence each. What is binding on all member countries of the United Nations? It is binding on all member countries to resolve their international issues only through peaceful means. Name the 5 permanent members of the Security Council. The 5 permanent members of the Security Council are United States of America, France, United Kingdom, Russia and China. Why was the Economic and Social Council established? The Economic and Social Council was established to coordinate the social and economic functions of the United Nations. Who was the first lady chairperson of the United Nations General Assembly? Srimati Vijayalakshmi Pandit was the first lady chairperson of the United Nations General Assembly. Answer in 2 or 3 lines. What is veto power? The 5 permanent members of Security Councils are United States of America, France, United Kingdom, Russia and China have the veto powers. Veto power means the right to reject any decision. Any decision of the Council must have the concurrence of all 5 permanent members. Opposition by any one of these members leads to a rejection of the decision. What are the functions of the Security Council? The Security Council performs functions like maintaining international peace and security, probing into international disputes, suggesting ways to resolve international issues, taking military or economic action against aggressor countries if necessary, etc. What are the functions of the International Court of Justice? The court performs the functions of adjudicating the disputes between 2 or more member countries, providing the right interpretation to international laws, norms and traditions, etc. Answer in 4 or 5 lines. What are the objectives of the United Nations? The United Nations have certain specific objectives. They are as follows: to enhance international peace and security, to develop friendly relations among nations, to resolve all international issues through peaceful means, to protect and promote human rights and freedom. What are the functions of the General Assembly? The General Assembly has the right to pass resolution regarding issues of international peace and security. It discusses reports received from the Security Council and passes the UN budget. It also elects the non-permanent members of the Security Council and the members of the Economic and Social Council. During its sessions, all the member nations discuss many important international issues. Therefore, the UN General Assembly is considered to be an important forum of discussion on international questions. What are the functions of Economic and Social Council? This council performs functions like initiating discussions on the global level on questions of poverty, social and economic inequalities, etc., to create awareness about human rights and freedom, to undertake projects about social, cultural and educational issues, etc. Write short note. Trusteeship Council. The purpose of Trusteeship Council was to make the people capable of running their own government. After the Second World War, the Trusteeship Council took the responsibility of administrating territories which are incapable of governing themselves. UN helped such territories till 1994. After independence of Palau Islands in Pacific Ocean, the trusteeship council was dissolved. WHO, who means World Health Organization. Its headquarters is in Geneva. This organization is engaged in improving the physical and mental health of the people in the world. It carries out immunization campaigns to control epidemics.
Friends, now we are close the study part of United Nations, and after that we are going to civics topic. In second part is the game. In game, we include 16 education games. In the games, 4 games are selected or each standard for 8 standard. Games are helicopter, Spider-Man, road cross and horse race. For example, we play helicopter game. In this game, all topics are given. 2 options are given. First is all questions and second is any 5 questions. In this chapter, you can select one or more topic as well as option between lower 2 options and start game. In this game, helicopter, we are select the topic is United Nations and option is any 5 question. Friends, in this game, helicopter is flying over air and you have to choose correct option from the given question. Throw the bomb on selected option, colors tent. If your answer is correct, then tent will be destroyed. Mass increases. Otherwise, tent doesn't destroy and mass doesn't increases. Your game is start. After finishing the game, one message box is displayed, that is, do you want to play again? If you want to play again, then select correct button, and if you want to exit, then select exit option. And friends, now we are close the game option and we are start the third and last option is test. Here all the chapters are displayed. Here 2 options are given in solve the test. First is all options and second is any 5 options. And we are select the topic is United Nations and the option is any 5 questions. Now the test is start. First, here your questions and 4 options. You have to select right answer. Your exam is finished and your result is displayed. In result, including required timing and getting marks. If you want to know right answers, then select the option is right answer and the green color is the right answer and maroon color is the wrong answer. Now your test is finished and the topic is civics also finished, and we are going to last topic is geography. In geography divided into three parts: study, games and test. And we are the show first part is study. The part is study. First we are select the chapters.
अगं हे बघ इथे जॉग्राफी वगैरे लिहिलंय आणि याच्यानंतर लगेच इथे इंग्लिश ग्रामर मी म्हणते टॉपिक कुठे गेला काय सोरिंग इंटू स्पेस कुठे आहे ओके ओके एक मिनिट सेंटेन्स बघून म्हणतात ग्रामर
ते एकदम अचानक हातात नाही काय नाही टॉपिक काय बोलायचं जस्ट अ मिनिट ओके In study, all topics are included in geography subject. For example, we see the topic is soaring into space. This topic divided into three parts. First is introduction, second is summary, and third and last question and answer. And we are see the first part is introduction. Here introduction.
Chapter 1, Soaring into Space. Friends, in this lesson, we are going to learn about the space technology and its applications developed by man. Space launch. To send an object from Earth into space, it is necessary to move it beyond the gravitational limits of the Earth. The technology used for sending an object beyond Earth's gravitational limits is known as space launch technology. While doing so, utmost care is taken regarding the extent to which a thing is to be taken into space, the energy required for the purpose, and the guiding systems that take the object to the desired location. Rockets are used for launching things in space. Man-made satellites and spacecrafts are launched beyond the Earth's gravitation with the help of rockets. Uses for space technology. It is only because of this technology that man has been able to move beyond the gravitational pull of the Earth. Man could enter the space. Spacecrafts and space laboratories help us study the different celestial bodies directly or indirectly. Through this, we have been able to obtain information about the atmosphere, solar energy, space, extent of the universe, etc. Using space technology, we send different types of man-made satellites into space. These perform different tasks and benefit us. For example, we can watch a sports event on the television or TV going on anywhere in the world. We can survey natural resources and get information about the forests, minerals, and other resources in a region. Apart from this, satellites help in planning the development of a region and strategic planning of defense operations. We can contact persons who are thousands of kilometers away using telephones or mobile phones. We can obtain information about the changes in the atmosphere. storms, crop conditions, reservoirs, pollution, etc. Remote sensing, collecting information about a region without establishing any physical contact with it is called remote sensing. Through satellites, we can get images of the Earth's surface from space. In this technique, a portion of the spectrum of light from visible to infrared is utilized. This facilitates the study of a region from different aspects and helps us to plan for its development. Communication. The use of advanced means of communication such as television channels, radio, telephone, mobile phone, fax and internet has brought the world closer. The credit for this goes largely to communication satellites. Global Positioning System (GPS), the technique used for determining the exact position of a place on the surface of the Earth is called Global Positioning System or GPS. For this, a particular instrument is used which connects to different satellites orbiting in space. Through this, the position of a place is fixed with reference to the latitudes and longitudes. It also facilitates the measurement of altitude. Preparing and updating maps has become easier through this technique. Space research in India. India is one of the few countries which have achieved the skills of space launching and designing of man-made satellites. Space research in India began under the leadership of Dr. Homi Bhabha and Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. The first rocket was launched in space from Thumba in 1969. The space launching station at Sriharikota on the eastern coast of India was established in 1971. India has carried out a number of space launch programs. On 28 April 2008, India made a record of simultaneously launching 10 satellites mounted on the PSLV C9 rocket. India has successfully launched Chandrayaan on 14th November 2008. Space pollution. Man has launched a number of satellites, spacecrafts and space laboratories to date. Most of these satellites and laboratories keep revolving in space around the Earth. They become a part of space debris once the mission is completed. They may contain harmful and poisonous chemicals and gases. This debris in the space leads to space pollution. The amount of such garbage is increasing day by day. If a part of this garbage comes closer to the gravitational field of the Earth, there is a risk of these articles falling onto the surface of the Earth. The harmful chemicals and explosive in them can be dangerous to life on the Earth. For example, Skylab, the space laboratory, had fallen on the surface of the Earth in 1979. Collision of two satellites had occurred in February 2009.
Now, introduction is part completed and we are see the second part is summary. In summary, important part topic given in short, which will help to doing study within short period.
Chapter 1, Soaring into Space. Summary. The technology used for sending an object beyond Earth's gravitational limits is known as space launch technology. Rockets are used for launching things in space. Spacecrafts and space laboratories help us to study the different celestial bodies in the solar system. Collecting information about a region without establishing any physical contact with it is called remote sensing. The technique used for determining the exact position of a place on the surface of the Earth is called Global Positioning System, that is GPS. The position of a place is fixed with reference to the latitudes and longitudes. Space research in India began under the leadership of Dr. Homi Bhabha and Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. On 28 April 2008, India made a record of simultaneously launching 10 satellites mounted on PSLV C9 rocket. India has successfully launched Chandrayaan on 14 November 2008.
Summary part is completed. Now we are going to third and last part is question and answer. All type of question and answer are given here.
Chapter 1. Soaring into space. Give short answers. Describe the uses of space technology. Space technology has made it possible for man to move beyond the gravitational pull of the Earth and enter the outer space. Spacecrafts and space laboratories help us study the different celestial bodies in the solar system directly or indirectly. We have been able to obtain information about the atmosphere, solar energy, space, extent of the universe, etc. What is meant by space pollution? The spacecrafts, number of satellites, and the space laboratories keep revolving in space around the Earth. They become a part of space debris once the mission is completed. They may contain harmful or poisonous gases and chemicals. This debris in the space leads to space pollution. Describe in brief the space research program of India. Space research in India began under the leadership of Dr. Homi Bhabha and Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. The first rocket was launched in space from Thumba in 1969. The space launching station at Sriharikota was established in 1971. India is now one of the very few countries which have achieved the skills of space launching and designing of man-made satellites. Which astronauts are of the Indian origin? The astronauts Rakesh Sharma, Kalpana Chawla and Sunita Williams are of Indian origin. What care is taken while launching something into the space? While launching something into the space, utmost care is taken regarding the extent to which a thing is to be taken into space, the energy required for the purpose, and the guiding systems that take the object to the desired location. State the different uses of man-made satellites. Man-made satellites perform different tasks and benefit us in a variety of ways. We can watch a sport event going on anywhere in the world. We can survey natural resources and get information about the forests, minerals and other resources in a region. They help in planning the development of a region and strategic planning of defense operations. We can contact people anywhere in the world through telephone, mobile, etc. We can obtain information about the changes in the atmosphere, storms, crop conditions, reservoirs, pollution, etc. Where are the space research technology centers located in India? In India, the space research technology centers are located at Sriharikota on the eastern coast of India, Thumba and Thiruvananthapuram on the western coast of India, Bangalore, Hassan, Hyderabad and Ahmedabad. What are the risks of space pollution? The satellites and laboratories keep revolving in space around the Earth. They become a part of the space debris once the mission is completed. They may contain harmful and poisonous gases and chemicals. If a part of this garbage comes closer to the gravitational force of the Earth, there is a risk of these articles falling on to the surface of the Earth. The harmful chemicals and gases and explosives in them can be dangerous to life on the Earth. Explain in brief. Space launching. To send an object from Earth into space, it is necessary to move it beyond the gravitational limits of the Earth. The technology used for sending an object beyond Earth's gravitational limits is known as space launch technology. While doing so, utmost care is taken regarding the extent to which a thing is to be taken into space, the energy required for the purpose, and the guiding systems that take the object to the desired location. Rockets are used for launching things in space. This technology has proved to be revolutionary. Rocket. Rockets are used for launching things in space. Man-made satellites and spacecrafts are launched beyond the Earth's gravitation with the help of rockets. Man could enter the space using the space technology. Spacecrafts and space laboratories help us to study different celestial bodies in the solar system. Through this, we have been able to obtain information about the atmosphere, solar energy, space, extent of universe, etc. We can watch sports event going anywhere in the world. We contact people through mobile and phones. We come to know about the weather in advance. Remote sensing. Collecting information about a region without establishing any physical contact with it is called remote sensing. Through satellites, we can see images of the Earth's surface from space. In this technique, a portion of the spectrum of light from visible to infrared is utilized. This facilitates the study of a region from different aspects and helps us to plan for its development. We can obtain information about the changes in the atmosphere, storms, crop conditions, reservoirs, pollution, etc. Global positioning system. The technique used for determining the exact position of a place on the surface of the Earth is called Global Positioning System (GPS). For this, a particular instrument is used which connects to different satellites orbiting in space. The position of a place is fixed with reference to the latitudes and longitudes. It also facilitates the measurement of altitude. Preparing and updating maps has become easier through this technique. Space research in India. It was under the able leadership of Dr. Homi Bhabha and Dr. Vikram Sarabhai that the space research in India began. The first rocket launched in space was from Thumba in 1969. The space launching station at Sriharikota was established in 1971. India has carried out a number of space launch programs. India made a record in the history of space launching by simultaneously launching 10 satellites mounted on the PSLV C9 rocket. On 14th November 2008, Chandrayaan was launched successfully. India has centers for space research at Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Hassan, Bangalore and Thiruvananthapuram.
Now friends, we are close the question and answer and return to the geography part. आता friends, we are going to the games. In games, first the included 16 educational games. Four games are selected for each standard. First is helicopter, second is Spider-Man, third is road cross, and fourth is horse race. For example, we play helicopter. In this game, all topics are shown and two options are given. First is all questions and second is any five question. First is chapter is select the soaring into space and option is select the any five questions. In this game, a helicopter is flying on and you have to choose correct option from the given question and throw the bomb on selected option's color. If your answer is correct, then tent will be destroyed and marks increases. Otherwise, tent doesn't destroy and your marks doesn't increases. Your game is start. Now, after finishing the game, one message box is displayed, that is, do you want to play again? If you want to play again the game, then select correct option, and if you want to exit, then select exit button. Now the game is closed and we are going to third and last option is test. Here all the chapters are displayed. Here two options are displayed to solve the test. First is all questions and second is any five questions. First we select the chapter is soaring into space and after that we select the option is any five questions and start the test. You have to four options and you have to select the right answer. Your exam is finished after that and result is displayed. In result, including required timing and getting marks. If you want to show your right answer, then click the right answer option. After that, green color is show the correct answer and maroon color is show the wrong answer. Your test is exit and the topic is also exit. Friends, if you have any requirement of the e-learning software, then follow the following information. Our company name is Confer Systems and our address is office number 6, second floor, Krupaprasad, near Sane Guruji Smarak, Dandekar Bridge, Singhgad Road, Pune 30. And telephone number is 9420694161. For sales 8411890303. or 8411900303 or 8411910303 or 8411920303 or 8411940303 or 8411950303. For support, 8411070505 or 8411090505. If you want to extra or whole information, then go to our websites www.confersystems.com or www.ejuplus.co.in.